Hello and welcome and thank you much. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's that wine I've been drinking. Thank you very much for joining me on the olive farm. I've decided to call this the olive farm because we've got olive trees. Okay, so this is the farm that my grandson Daniel set up for me. If you've been following the series, if not, then just watch episodes 1, 2 and 3 and you can catch up. Okay, so basically today I got a field which I got some sugar beet out of. I'm gonna not plow it, I'm gonna seed that with I'm gonna seed that with wheat, I think, get it ready because we need to get some feed for these chickens. I need to get this olive grove cultivated. I've only got a couple of rows left. I've done a few rows already, and it's got to be fertilized as well. I'm going to leave this row and this row here and this row here just to see if they actually produce anything. And if that's the case, then I know the yield is going to be lower. Because if you've mulched and cultivated and fertilized it, you're going to get a little bit more crop. But I'm wondering whether I could just leave the field. Here we are. Just leave. I want to get a field basically with just olives in, and I want to go organic. Basically, that's the plan. I want to go organic. That's what I want to try and do. And I can just go along and harvest them, and there's not going to be any work involved. You know, that's the plan. I want to try and make this as organic as I possibly can. So I'm going to leave those rows there, like I said. Right, I just take this back up to the shed. Got a couple of eggs on the pallet there. So I'm going to take this up. I'm going to grab the other tractor. I've already had the seeder delivered. It's got seed and fertilizer in it, so we need to get up to the top field and do that now. I think that's the best thing to do. The other thing, I've had this idea, a couple of ideas. I've been thinking of a couple of ideas. So I want to get I'll just leave her here. Okay. I had this idea of, well, I'll talk about it when I get up there. Let's get this engine started. Let's just drop that off. I hope this is going to do the job. Should do. It's quite a powerful little tractor, this one. Yes, so I had this radical idea actually about this field. I was going to sell it, but I've decided I'm going to keep it. Because I want to convert it into something. I want to put a little logistic building just there, just here. But I'm gonna put a little building here so I can distribute all my goods there. That's going to cost me about £15,000. That's going to be well worth it because I want to get a few more greenhouses and things. I want to try and utilize every ounce of space. I'm going to cut across John's field here. Whoops, cut across John's field. He won't mind. As I said, he's a pretty good neighbour, is John. I want to try and utilise every little bit of space of my land. So, but I've had another radical idea, which is, it's unconventional, because Daniel said, he's the one that set this map up for me. He said to me, I don't want you to use any generators. And I said, okay, I won't use any generators, but I've had this idea about a generator. And now if this was real life, and I was a farmer, and I'm trying to earn some money, I'm wondering, will not connect to that? Yeah, well, yes it will. Oof. Well, it was in my mouth then for a minute. Okay, let's get this unfolded. Steering assistant, there we go, that's okay. Let's get that on there. Right, so this is a funny shaped field. I need a more powerful tractor, really, don't I? This is going to take me a while in this thing. It is taxing it. It is. Now I've got an alternative. I've got an idea that I could take on a contract and get a more powerful tractor to get this job done quicker. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I might actually do that. I might do that. So what I'm thinking of this, because we got a river, a bit of a river and a stream there. That's going all the way up to the temple, and this is a good, a good little stream. You could pick up a couple of fish in there. And I've got the idea of maybe if I can sell if I could sell season tickets to fish this river, that means I need a little shed on this land. And bear with me now. So I'll also be able to sell some products as well. But the shape of this field, if you can see, if I could use this section there and convert that into a caravan park, right? And then I could put a generator on there, pretending that is generating site fees. And then I could use the rest of this end for a bit of grass, a bit of corn, or whatever I want to put on there, really. So I'm going to have a word with Daniel to see if I could do that and basically develop this into a caravan park and put I'll discuss with him how much generator I can use. One of those little flag things, and I was going to generate that money. So it was basically like leasing out a field. Now, if I was going to lease out a field, that's exactly what I would do. I'd put a generator on you and say, right, I can't touch that field now because it's being leased. So anyway, it's just role playing, basically. Just role playing, just having fun, just enjoying the process. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, I know. I was going to go down and see if I could find a contract I can take on with a fair-sized tractor. That's a good one. What is that? That's harvesting. Ugh, no, I don't want to do that one. I don't want to do that. No, it's not worth it. What we got there. That's going to the grain mill, sorghum. Not sure about the size of that tractor. See, some of these are just... What's that? No, I don't want to do that one. Mowing would be good. That's not far. No, I know where that is. Okay, I thought that was not far from where I am. So, ploughing. Yes. I'm gonna borrow the items and let's jump over, as if by magic, let's jump into this bad boy. Hopefully this will be powerful enough to do what I wanted to do. And I should be able to use this tractor to sow my own seed, and then I can go and plough that field and I'm making a bit of money at the same time. There you go. What I'm thinking of doing is buying a plough, actually. So when I take on the contracts, I can use my own plough. I am going to need a slightly bigger tractor. But we'll see how it works. I hope this is going to be more powerful than the other one now. Otherwise I made a boo-boo. Should be more powerful. I hope it is. I hope it is. Well, it looks bigger. Okay, it looks bigger. Dee 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 dee. Okay. Yes, a bit better. That is not much better, but it is better. So, I was hoping I'd put wheat in there. No, so I'm going to put wheat in this field. This is going to feed my chickens. Give me some straw because I want to go organic. I don't want to buy any fertilizer sprays and stuff like that. And if weeding needs to be weeding, I will use a weeder. I'm going to really go and try to be organic if I can. There's instances where I can't, and I accept that, but I want to minimize that. Like I said, I want to check out these olive groves because if I can just plant a field of olives, and I can just plant a field of olives and not do any work to them, because when I was on holiday, I was on a holiday in Tunisia, and they do a lot of olive trees. I forget how many million trees there are actually in Tunisia, and they don't touch them. They don't do nothing with them whatsoever. They just go along once a year, harvest them, and that's that. So that's giving me an idea. That's giving me an idea of what I want to do. So this field at the moment is just going to be for wheat, and I'll have a word with Daniel to see if I can do that with the caravan area, so I can lease that ground out and get some site fees on it. And what I might do then is grow a bit of corn or something in here, so, or even grass. I want to try and make some silage ready because I want to get cows. That's important. I can get 25 cows for now, and I'm actually thinking of getting buffalo so I can make some mozzarella cheese in the dairy, and that's going to bring me some serious money in, and I'll extend that as time goes on. So there we are. So what I'm going to do is just carry on seeding this field, and yeah, let's go for it. So yeah, I've Whew, it's just taking a while, this ploughing, this seeding. I'm gonna do those. I've taken another ploughing contract on, so you might have seen some footage of that already added into this. Yeah, so I basically I want to maximize the work now. I had 2 ploughing contracts, so I just as well. I hired a little plough actually. I've hired a plough. I'm going to keep that because I'm just going to do ploughing contracts around me. I think I can make my money back on that. A little bit of contract work. Don't mind doing a little bit of ploughing. Even if I get somebody in on a weekend to give me a hand and play a worker, you know. It's all extra money. As long as I can make a little bit of profit, that's all I'm worried about. Now, this particular field that I'm working on needs rolling and needs lime, and I'm not going to do any of that. Yeah. Oh, you might be saying, but you should, because you can maximize your yield. Yeah, but this is basically just for straw and to feed the chickens. I'm not really worried about how much the crop is going to give me. I know that might sound a bit stupid, but in this particular instance, I just want to get a crop out of it, and I want to get some free food for my chickens. So I don't really want to go down the road of buying lime, and although I have got a few bags of lime there, I'm going to have to rent a fertilizer spreader and all this type of stuff, and a roller, and I'm not really doing. Hey, I finished. I'm not really. There's a couple of patches up here I just want to touch up actually. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing a lot of growing of stuff. Only to feed the cattle and the. What's happened? What have I done wrong? There we go. Only to feed the cattle and the pigs and sheep, if I get any sheep. Let's just get this into position. Cool, there we go. Yeah, so that's all I want to do for now. I'm taking this back to the yard, across John's field, empty out the seed and the fertilizer, because I paid for it, just as well keep it. In actual fact, I could put that into the apple trees. That's going to bring me a bit of yield as well. I'm going to go and finish ploughing those fields, getting money in for those 2 contracts, and then I'm going to move on to the next month. So I've spent a little bit of money. Let's take us up there. I've spent a little bit of money this month, a bit more than I wanted to spend, but you know, as long as we're going to reap the benefits at the end of it, you know, sometimes we have to wait for a bit of money to come in. I've still got to fertilize these olive trees, and so that'll give me a good yield. That's what I'm looking for. Right, let's empty this. There you go. Drop that off there. I can leave this tractor there. Let's return the seeder. So the leasing cost was 3,766. So that's okay. And like I said, it's free food. When you think of the price of the food, I think is 1,000 and something a bag. Food, consumables, would it be under there? No, it would be under food. Yeah, it would be under consumables, wouldn't it? Oh, food, there we go. So chicken feed is 1,500 for 1,000 litres. So yeah, it's worth it at the end of the day. Good. Let's just drag these over because they're not full. There we are. We'll chuck them into the apples afterwards. Have we got anything in here yet? No. I need to increase the dairy, and I need to increase the oil press, I think. And I need to get that sorted. But for now it's working, it's doing its job. Let's just chuck them there. Okay. Let's go and get some ploughing done. Well, it's not pretty, but it's ploughed. That's the main thing. So we've got some money coming in. Yeah, so this is the second field that's been ploughed, and there we go. We have finished the contract. So let's have a look at what we've got as far as money is concerned. So we've got £1,939 from field 39, so let's collect that. And from Kate we've got 1,739 from field 77, so we will collect that. And we can go home. We got £42,000 in the bank, and yeah, that's pretty good. Bit of profit there. So 2 lovely fields being ploughed. I'm going to go home now, and I'm going to sleep well tonight. And I think I'll see you all there now in November. And let's see what else we can do in November. Not a lot, but we'll talk about that on the next episode. Right, let's get home to bed. I am absolutely shattered.